Issa met Olm. They embraced each other, and in stillness enveloped the darkened land. Where one sang, the other danced, and they sang thus. We are Issa, and Olm danced. We are Olm, and Issa danced. I am the summer's dawn, and Olm bowed. I am the morning winter, and Issa bowed. This thing is something, and Olm wept. Naught of naught, and Issa wept.
You have acquired Hellbane. Excellent. Now, for your next labors, I need you to collect some items. The Bloodstone, a circlet, and the Rose of Kandrian. The Bloodstone in particular must be bought. Here is some gold to do so. The circlet from the Scholia Arcana Library in Rathir, the Bloodstone from Kel's Cavity, and the Rose of Kandrian from the Grave of Geradace. He is a lying, whoring, two-faced mongrel, a blight on the plains of Erethel for the better part of 20 years. Long ago, he cheated me in a game of cards, winning a gem known as the Bloodstone. I want you to get it back. Use the gold I have given you to get it back. If you can convince Kells to part with the gem for less, good. If you can't, do what you need to do. Well, if you don't have the skills to do so, take this book. Place it in the bookshelf to the left of the chest, and the chest should unlock. Let's just call it a legacy of my misspent youth, and not ask questions as to how it works. Now, go, get me that circlet. The magic of the headstone will allow the bearer of Hellbane to pull the rose from the stone as if it were alive. All right then, you'd best get going. Until later then.
Greetings. Approach and await the wisdom of the fates. I am the great Kells Cafferty, sworn and scrupled servant to the Sisters of Destiny. Speak, that I may divine your future, and through my gift, bless your mortal soul. I don't like strangers who ask a lot of questions. This town is full of old fools. Most of them will believe anything you tell them. I'm sure Durfel is not very fond of me. I beat him in a game of cards many years ago, fair and square. Well, by my standards, anyway. Traditionally, this sort of transaction happens under more discreet circumstances, if you understand my meaning. Tell you what, I'll part with it for a hefty price. Very well. It's practically highway robbery, but I'm not in any condition to argue. Pleasure doing business, friend.
Greetings, sister.
The priestess says Lyria spared Aethiof, but destroyed his...
Here's a valiant adventurer come to sleepy Tyrion's Rest. The war cheer you up and spit you up, and you'll find yourself in some damn tavern, rotting behind a mug of ale. Just a sorry old remnant of the war. Not sorrier than those damn refugees, the poor sots. Let's not the talk of them in this village. Lyria doesn't love them, or so I've heard, and she's not the only one. It's a fine hill, if you like to sit and rot in your old age. That or praise Lyria's toes morn, noon and night. The war? Ha! The war's a grislier beast than these poor fools have dreamt of. Goodbye, then.
Well, a new face. Welcome to the Reedsong Inn. Come in, and Lyria light your way. If you can spare a coin for our troops in the war, well then, all the better. As long as you're not a sodding fae, you're most welcome here. Porella sermons grace and patience, but I lost a son. I'd go over there and wring every one of their evil necks. I'd come back and wring the ones on this side afterwards, for good measure. I hear the conditions in Cluricon are just wretched. My own son was there, gave his life for the cause. That's why I've taken up collection. Every coin goes to those poor soldiers across the water. High Priestess Tyrion made camp right here on her sojourn to settle Rathir. It is said she was given a vision by Lyria on this very ground. Our goddess and protector, the Alfar's guiding light, it was her will we were spared the Fae sword 10 years back. That I do. We all must do our part. Have you got a few coin to spare, then? And what about them? I don't see what they're doing to fight the Fae. Now you look into your heart. See if you can find it in you to come back and... Go on! Of course I am! Now you look into... Goodbye, then. Lyria bless and let the Fae be... Go on! Of course! And what about them? I don't see what they're doing. There's a good soul. Say, would you do one more favor for an old innkeep? This purse is full of collections. Would you be so good as to bring it to the box in our sanctuary? I can't go myself, and there's someone I can't trust. If you want to know the truth of it, someone's been swiping from the collections. We don't know who, but I'm sure you weren't the one. Lyria, bless your fate. Sanctuary's just across the bridge at the end of the walk. The box is inside. And if you happen upon the thief, and in my opinion it must take place in the darkest night, tell the priestess to white nil at once. The sanctuary's crossed the bridge and down the path. The box is... And keep your eyes sharp. A little thief has been taking from that box. A room in the inn? Fire and... Well, if you ever do... Well, so long.
Oh, I'm sorry. I almost didn't notice you. I'm making remarkable progress in my research. You see, I'm writing the definitive biography on General Oriator. I come from the far north. Although we are farther from the action, a war against the Alfar is a war against us all. Without his courage and tactical brilliance, we'd never have driven the Tuatha from the plains. He and General Varlin are why I've come here, to comb the old battlefields for clues of what happened. You might say she was the moon to Oriator's son. Oh, I know some would take offense to my saying that. All the same, it's true. The first was the Battle of Gallifore Plain, then... Oh, don't get me started. Well, the Battle of Gallifore Plain was the first triumph pinned to Oriator's name. Then into Willy, the Dawn March, the War of Parries, Varlane's Gambit, and finally, Oriator's Stand. He died driving the Tuatha from Erethel. The veteran? He has lapsed into drunkenness. He's of no use to my research, or any other way besides. You shouldn't think all Loselfar are so devoted to Lyria. Where I come from, in the north, we take a much more balanced view.
No vagrants, no beggars.
Listen, my children. A Fae does walk on Gallifore Plain. But I tell you, this too is part of Lyria's plan. It reminds us never to rest our guard or slacken in our faith. You. It was you.
Ah, the collections.
I have heard someone's been stealing from the box. Can't imagine who.
All of it fey. All of it twining growth and nowhere safe. Oh, that fey, his face, it pierced my eyes. That fey, his face, it pierced my eyes.
Why, you should have seen what happened. A Fae came marching out and right up the hill. Heard the priestess shout and gasp. And then old Nil came running down mad as a hare. Don't know how you missed him go. Somehow the freeing of that Fae has weakened her powers. Don't think a soul said, but everyone knows. I heard she can't heal anymore. But the thing that's worst is that for the first time, she's aired. Now they all know she can. He's in there now, barking mad and less than half his wits left to him. As if he'd been possessed on the inside, poor soul. Right then.
Keep the peace, kid.
It's safe from here to Rathir.
What's this?
What are you doing here? I'm just here for a midnight prayer. Ah, what's the use? You've caught me. Yes, I was stealing from the till. It's not as if those doomed sods off in Chloricon need this gold. Not half as much as where I'm putting it. Not in to drink, if that's what you're thinking. There's some wretches off in Forsaken Plain. They don't know it's me. Nobody does. But I leave gold for them when I can down by Snowmelt. Bloody least I can do. No? Well, it's good to see someone who's got a heart for a change. If I was stealing for drink, they might give me a scolding. If they knew it was for Forsaken Plains refugees, they'd toss me in jail. There's Tyrion's Rest for you. All right. I'm going. The old dog died face down in Tawilly mud. Whatever he was in life, I say that earned his right to be remembered a hero. Hush now. No sense in talking to that poor lot here. Ain't that right, friend? Irene's her name. Came here going on about old Oriator. Heard I'd fought and seemed set to talk my ears off. So I asked her for a kiss. Turned red as a setting sun and went right back to her books. All right.
I'll be keeping it.
A foulness unknown to Tyrion's tired pilgrims lumbered in the plains. Laboured grunts trumpeted the call of brutish Jotun, the giant-kin of old, the hammer-wielders. In grievous march they trampled wood and tumbled stone. The fleshy weight of steppes crushed the bones of warriors past. Kelleran's legion spread too thin. Beala's prayers went unanswered, and the fear of death came too easily with the heavy step of the hill-dwellers.
They found me! Have mercy. Make it quick.
Thank Mitharu. I thought I'd die here, the last of Culm's settlers, alone.
Anella and the foragers were out when the Tuatha came. It was a massacre until they returned and drove them off. She and the others set off for Verki, where Anella said they came from. If you've got any hope of finding her alive, you'll get there quickly. Verki, head south through the narrow pass, then turn east. If you want to help her, you'd better go now. All around you, this was Culm. It might have been again, but now everyone is gone. Damn Tuatha. When we arrived, there was nothing here. Then, like a second dawn march, they were everywhere. Why do they hate us? They're not like the other Fae. It was after the Tuatha's first defeat in Erethel. They were scattered, but regrouped south of Tuili. Under cover of night, they marched north, and with the dawn attacked Rathir. General Telera's forces cut them off and drove them back into the sea. After 10 years spent wandering the plains, we thought we could rebuild our homes. How could we be so wrong? Anyone who could fight had left to forage. When the Tuatha finally came, there was no one to resist. She promised we'd rebuild Culm. Should have known that was impossible. Can't blame her. We chose to come here, hoping that war was far enough gone that we might rebuild. Stronghold in southern Tuili, mostly destroyed during the war.
The embrace of webwood never ends. It grips you with a strength of passion, a gentle stillness, a quiet moment. Sleep in this cradle of a balmy, secret place.
Many welcomes.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Are you looking to buy items or sell them? If you need another trade, then come see me.
Die, Tuatha! I appreciate the help, but my work here isn't done. Unless you're going deeper into Verkey, I'll take my leave. I'm not going back until the work is done. You'll just have to help. They're coming in through the water gates in the depths of this place. They must have found them. That's their way in. We see Tuatha crawling out of here every time we pass. As for the gates, I remember them from when I was a child, before the Tuatha came.
Unexpected, but thank you. With you here, we just might make it. Let's go. At the bottom, of course. They were used to let boats in. You can be sure we'll find more Tuatha along the way. What did my father say of me? I can look after myself, though I'm grateful for your help all the same. I should have sent word, but I wanted to give him good news from Colne, tell him things had gotten better. But they never did, and it's my fault that the refugees were lost. After 10 years, we thought we could rebuild. I led them here, and here they died. The idea was mine, as is the blame. Those of us who could defend ourselves went out to find supplies. The rest stayed and helped in the ruins. Tuatha picked us off, one by one. We were out looking for supplies. Came home to find Tuatha attacking the village. All those people dead, at the hands of those monsters. We drove off the first group, but they just kept coming. The survivors scattered. I left to find where the Tuatha had come from. Most of this place fell in the war, but it appears the lower levels were mostly unharmed, lucky for us. Are we going? Let's keep moving. Are we going? More of them! More of them! There's the lever to the gate. Throw it! There's the lever to the gate. Throw it! There's the lever to the gate. Throw it! They can't get in this way anymore. Let's go. It's finished. Return with me. If I know my father, he'll want to thank you in person. Are we going? They can't get in this way anymore. Are we going?
You've returned. I will never forget what you have done for me. And Anella. No thanks could ever be enough, but please, accept this humble reward. Not a bird to be caged, I'm afraid. Still, I hope her time on the Tawili coast has opened her eyes to the realities of the world. Just an old merchant with his share of grief, but his share of fortune, too. I have a home here in Tyrion's Rest, and my daughter by my side. I, too, dream of seeing Culm rebuilt, but I fear it will be years past this war's end before such a thing could be.
Come back to help me against stock ledgers and bills of trade. This is what I do now. Perhaps I'll be a merchant like my father. Perhaps I'll be a different sort, the kind that does some good. My father is just what he seems to be, an old merchant with a good heart. He's training me in his trade, but if I could, I'd be fighting the Tuatha. These people give gold for the war, but spit on its refugees. It's a town for fools and hypocrites, and my father. I know. It was too soon to resettle. Don't you think I knew that as soon as we arrived? Some things have to be seen through, though, no matter what.
have we got here? Well now, what's this here? A little soldier come wandering down the coast? Sure, I'm a soldier. We all are, or were more like, until we found better use for a sword and shield. You'd better get word to Mad Hast in the customs house. Him and his will want to know. They always do. Damned theory. What now? Yes, to the customs house. Don't look at me. I don't know the password. They always come to me. There were times before she joined the Blue Helms and got too good for my sort. We got by, me and her. Think I frightened her out of her wits when I turned up again all these years later? Soldier, freeman, what's in the name? It's all the same thing in the end. Like I said, if Warsworn got the key, they want to know. Want to snuff this meddler out before it goes much farther, eh? The Farlangi? Damned if I know. They have gold and want things done, that's enough for me.
The walls of Glir Rathwen came crashing to the ocean's turmoil. Our people, despaired and battle-weary, hiding from the ogre's fists, saw Beala Tirin atop the revered spire, dressed in priestly garb and circled by a camp of mages. Wise Tirin called forth the grace of Lyria, her beauteous song, paragon of the ethereal. The people climbed to her side, a summit cloister of spell-woven forces. She smote the Jotun from the hallowed pinnacle, and never again did they return. Rathir, she named the place where sharp rocks break the water's surface. This home for all Dokkulfar, the lunar crag of Lyria, founded in the 14th year after the parting.
You look like you've been in some tight spots. There's a bounty out on a damn set of deserters. What do you say? I did 5 years in Cluricon. Then I got this post back here, seeing fresh recruits trained and off to war. Haven't you been? You can feel something and you begin to rot the moment you set foot over there. At least I did. A fact of life. There are cowards and lying rogues, and that's that. But when they up and run with things of value, that's another thing altogether. Look at it, scarred and singed as a blacksmith's hand. That is what you get from war. In through Verki's water gates? I'd have thought those gates sealed in the wreckage when Verki fell. Well, well, well. 5 full crew of fresh recruits had the gall to get fully equipped on our gold coin before they up and ran. The turntails, arms, and armor we can do without. But I'm afraid we also gave each crew a bottle of bog staunch. That's what I need recovered. Cure for a sickness that strikes some the moment they enter Cluricon. Devilish hard to make. We can't have fool deserters running off with any. I thought you looked the sort. The fools are run off down the coast. They'll be hiding here and there where they can, I imagine. They'll be up and down the Tawili coast, I think, hiding. There are things in the air in Cluricon. It doesn't strike everyone, but some get awfully sick their first days there. Bog staunch gets them through it, so we pack a jug with every crew we send over there.
What's needed?
The traveler's life. Nothing finer. Not in Rathir, not anywhere, my friend. Free of foot and light of heart we are. They might barter, trade, and whisper secrets up in Rathir town. But it's to Moon Camp they come for dance and laughter and song. Why, the way is right there, where the red gold flags are flying. You'll find fine musicians, mesmerizing dancers. Fine lads and lasses all. None of the mischief you might have heard tell of. Not here. A fine city for what it is. A bit dull and proper, mind you, and the City Watch don't take kindly to fun of any kind.
Did you think the whole army was across the water in Cluricon? No, I'm afraid some of us are stuck here in Dol de Arn and Rathir. Used to belong to House Arn, but that soft sot that inherited wanted nothing to do with it. His loss, the army's gain. I know they're as cooped up there as we are here, but someday that siege will lift. I want to be there when it does. The Freemen are a rogue group of our own soldiers who have grown disenfranchised by the war and decided it's easier to cause trouble at home than to keep the Tuatha at bay. While it's true we Alpha lead, many humans proudly fill our ranks. All mortals unite against the damned Tuatha Fae. While it's true they're not mortal for one, nor sane either. I've seen them firsthand. No one's quite sure why Sully rebelled against us. A lot of the soldiers are feeling fatigued, though, after fighting for so long. That's why most join with Freemen.
So many of our Barani men have such rude eyes.
In search of a game of haze.
A pleasant evening. So many of our young men and women.
Now, sir, I'm sure it will all be sorted out with time.
All right, all right. Just how How must this be done?
What am I going to do? I've got to be going, but I can't. And I can't go back to Doveyan, but I must. The war, my friend. The war. I've been called. The truth is, I should have been gone days ago. Only I'd be far more eager for the adventure if I had my family arms with me. They're in there, Doveyan. Ancestral staff and talisman. What any self-respecting Arn's worn to battle since time immemorial. If I hadn't left them somewhere in that damned tower, I'd be wearing them now. I'm not supposed to be here. I ought to have shipped out days ago. That's what I've been trying to say. I need, well, want to get my family arms and slip off before anyone knows I was here. Only how? You're serious, aren't you? Well, with any luck, the old staff and talisman are still in one piece back there, though I have my doubts. I'd pay just to know if they are or not. Thing is, Doveyan's an official army post now. To get in, you'll need an officer's pass. Well, you need to get into Doveyan. For that, you'll need an office. You might steal, borrow one. Or get hold of a forgery. Mooncamp might be good for that. I am the rightful heir to Doveyan. Or I was, at any rate. I've spent the last few years in lovely old Rathir, pretending, like a fool, nothing would change. It was my home. That was before I deeded it to the Alfar army, and went to Rathir with my pocket full of gold. It went 10 years untouched by the Tuatha foe. That's common knowledge. 10 years stuck in a cold stone prison was how I saw it. Arn family history's riddled with this cursed war. My father and brothers have done so much for the cause, I shouldn't have to lift a finger. Honestly, I feel like a hare hunted by hawks out here. By tradition, an Arn bears staff and talisman to battle. My brother bore them in Oriator's stand and died of his wounds 3 days after. Only I left them in Doveyan when I gave it to the army. Goodness only knows where they are, or what shape they're in now. Nothing like it anywhere in Amalur, I promise you. Beauty, elegance, wisdom. There's no putting it to words, really. Hurry if you can. They might find me any moment.
Will I watch the last of life flow from my land? Will I stand still as stone while the essence of its beauty drains away? No. Like Issa girding armor against Own, I, Mihari, will wrestle with the sinking sun, if that is what it takes to keep my land. I have rolled up the song within these lands, raked the life from the bones of the earth. I've left it shivering and stripped bare. I hold its dying magic in my arms.
Looking to buy? Need to do any trade? I have some items for sale, or I can buy if you're looking to fence some items. We're performers at heart in Mooncamp. Bards, jugglers, tumblers, dancers, all performing for the glory of the Hierophant. One of the few ways to earn coin with this war on. Bit hard for us to ply other trades with the soldiers at Dolve Arn breathing down our necks. Always a few odds and ends happening there. Hard to feel like you aren't being watched with the city looming over us. That's why you have to control the show. Common knowledge that the travelers are known as thieves, but it isn't the only life you have to lead. We've traders, bards, and jugglers as well. Irian's a good enough bard and a clever thief, but he's not quite a leader. Especially with Mare gone. Mare? She's one of the most talented thieves we've got. I can't say we don't miss her skill. Come again.
There's a bit to do around here if you're not a stageling gloryboat like some. Min likes to dice, and Aaron's got a fair bit of shop. Mooncamp is fine. I mean, it seems all the travellers would rather rob a noblewoman's rouge than her purse, but I'm not judging. The leadership here does lap up the words of the Hierophant, though, like a bunch of for a morsel. A great traveller's name is on the lips of every tavern maid given enough time. They're the ones with true legacy. Runs the show, literally. Thinks we should all be in garters and lip paint. His wife, Mare, used to keep him in control, but now she's left him. Can't imagine why. Mare? She seems like a talented enough woman. If but she's soft-headed for that damned Irophant. I heard about her leaving Irion. Maybe the time away from the old seer will give her some clear thought, for once. Remember me!
A thief may turn a lock, a brigand steal a key, but a bard can steal your heart for but a little fee. A sullied order the untouched cast, but rest assured we shall outlast. Live on your feet as we are told, while using hand to steal the gold. The unknown provider, the stalwart seer, the anonymous guider, the brigand's dear, a diviner of our quarry, and assuager of our worries. This camp is home to bards and singers all, tumblers and jugglers and curtain calls. Irion is a man who weeps the sadness that a lifetime reaps. His wife, his love, his other half, is gone and took his laugh. Farewell. A thief may turn a lock. Farewell.
Well, now look at this. Don't suppose you've come to make a purchase or trade? I'm a scrivener. Need something written, copied, or, well, forged. I'm the one you need. That all you need? It's all one to me. I'm not the one who wants to be an officer. That all you need? That's what I like to see. The glint of gold. Now, here's one right official pass, if it please you. It was fine doing business, officer.
I can teach you the secrets of trade. The Varani guard their methods well, but mine can be bought with coin. The stage is never silent in Moon Camp, and Rathir watches us from a distance. Ever the audience, you could say. The stage is never... Well now, there are many in the Travelers with clever hands, but in Moon Camp we value a silver tongue above all. The coast was torn apart by the war. It's now a wasteland for scavengers, refugees, and soldiers. Irion's wife left him, so it seems. Wouldn't be that bad, save the fact that she's also a leader of the camp. Irion's so busy pining after her that we've got nothing to do. Don't suppose we can get her back, can we? Seems that mare left Irion. Odd enough. When they first came to Moon Camp, they were like lovers from some ballad. The art of the haggle is just another form of performance, and that is where we excel here at Moon Camp. I bid you goodbye.
Fancy a game of dice? Got a few coin in my pocket that I'm feeling a little loose with. Ain't too complicated. We roll 2 dice. For range roll, you pick a range of numbers to roll between. The coast's been torn ragged by war and fire. It's the least Moon Camp can do to bring some color and motley to the area. I was a waif once, a cutpurse from the streets of Rathir before the Travelers spoke with me. They've become the family I never knew. The The man's supposed to be leading this camp, but all he can do is weep. He's taken the loss of Mare hard enough. Oh, aye. Mare's is a real song of storybook romance, but looks like things soured between her and Irian. Another time, another game.
Someone off the road. Tell me, do you have any peasant clothes that you're looking to get rid of? I can pay you for them. Indeed. It is not clothes so much as cloth. I'm a tailor by trade, and from my hands are born the costumes and curtains of our fair camp. But the players of our camp are always in need of new articles of dress. I need lots of material, and quickly. Bring me some peasant clothes, and I can rework the material with relative ease. What say you? You mean truly? It's been a while since I've had any good material to work with. I await your findings. If I knew, I wouldn't need you around to find them for me, would I? I think if you poke around, you'll dig some up. I used to find good work in Rathir, but the travellers here have a real passion for the art of performance. I'm happier here. Their words are often in the ears of common folk, and their songs play in the hearts of all. Irian is one of Moon Camp's leaders, but the other, Mare, has left us. I mean, how would you feel? It's a wonder a man like Irian could weather it. Mare might have been co-leader of the camp, but she's no performer. She's a thief, through and through. It might have worn on her to be surrounded with folk like us. Guess it just wasn't a good fit. Pleasant journeys.
The cards foretold of an arrival. That would be you, I suppose. We've traveled far and wide to make camp in the shadow of Rathir. From here, we do much trade. We travelers spend our lives out of doors, on roads and camps and fields, ever moving, ever roving. The leader of the travelers, the shepherd to our flock. The Hierophant is anonymous and leads from behind a veil. We travelers spend our lives out of doors, on road. Irian is the leader of this camp. He is a true master of the stage, but a cunning thief as well, in his own way. Mare was the leader of this camp along with our king, Irian. But fate ripped their paths apart, and now they are separate.
What is this specimen before me? I can only think that you were the skilled one the Hierophant said I was to expect. If only you had come sooner, then you might have helped to keep my mare's heart here. Oh, nothing I should be bothering you with. After all you've accomplished in Star Camp, what's so special about a broken-hearted Alpha? I should tell you more about what mission you're to be... Oh, you must give me a moment. Mare, my poor, lovely mare. My Queen of Cups, the once joint leader of Moon Camp, my wife. Happy we were in the years we were wed, yet sad we were in the hours. She was of a noble family, and I their jester. We fell in love, eloped, and joined the only ones who did not shun our love, the travelers. But of late, the stress of this life has finally taken its toll. She left me, and this camp, to seek refuge in the Temple of Lyria. I'm in no state to be aiding you right now. I should be alone. I still need some time. Very well. Go to the Hierophant Shrine and pray. There you will receive portents of the next mission from our Grand Leader. You must pray at the Hierophant Shrine. There you will... May the Hierophant's gaze find my wife, for what a wretch I have become. I am more like a king of ants than anything else. The Hierophant directs all of the travelers, a director of our queues and exits, of our motivations and actions. It is well known that the Hierophant commands us because of a vision of the work from start to end, a prophecy to tell us what to steal. It takes a brave sort to be a traveler. We've all left something behind, or made the sacrifices we had to, or had nowhere else to turn. But more than that, a traveler needs presence. We need to command attention, to perform under spotlight, even from the shadows. There is nothing I can say to describe how I pine for her. Would that I be sundered like the Rathir battlefield, that I could escape this anguish. Goodbye.
Is there a petition before me? Ah, yes, but it is strange. You seem cloaked in shadow, hidden from my gaze. Ah, it is you, Shade. We are far from the woods of Dalentarth. I see you are eager to serve your guide. Be mindful of your tone. I am the Hierophant, and it is through me that you earn your coin and living. Give me no cause to anger. I have seen the items which you must steal. The Chalice of Forced Vintage from the lower city, and the Signet Ring of Wyvern Gift from the upper city. And lastly, you must steal the Cowl of the Maiden from the Temple of Lyria. I give you these treasures as my blessing. The Chalice of Forced Vintage is said to take any liquid poured into it and transform it into fine wine. It is currently in possession of a peddler named Weinrich in Rathir's Seafoam Tavern. Relieve it of him. It is the signet ring of the Wyvern Gifts, one of the great houses of Rathir. The Patriarch Ebsel is a social man. You will have to take the ring from him away from prying eyes. The Cowl of the Maiden is a ceremonial cowl belonging to the Temple of Lyria. It is only worn on solemn occasions of the lunar eclipse. I fear that you are not its only predator. Mayor Ganon seeks the cowl as well. You are not the only thief that is pursuing the Cowl of the Maiden. There is also Mayor Ganon, formerly of Moon Camp. The calamities of Irian's and Mayor's relationships are not unknown to me. Resolve them, and you may have an easier time.
What can I do for you? You must steal the items as the Hierophant predicted they would. There is the chalice in the tap, and then there's the cowl in the Temple of Lyria. With Mare. Goodbye.